Nicolas, the discussions have been heated at times, it seems.
Well, the discussion is going on right now between Emmanuel Macron and 11 young business leaders and activists from Africa. And it has been quite heated. Just a few minutes ago, for example, there was a Kenyan activist who was telling him, we feel the pain of colonization every single day. Then she also told him, France-Afrique has to end. France-Afrique, which is the name given to the murky relationship between Paris and some of its former colonies in Africa. And then at one point, Macron said to one of the activists, you say I cooperate with dictatorships. Which ones? Which ones? Tell me, said the French president. And the activist from Senegal answered, for example, Chad. And right now, Emmanuel Macron is answering all these questions about the fact that he's been accused of cooperating, or at least, keeping silent on some issues. For example, in Chad, when Idriss Déby died earlier this year and his son took power without organizing elections. This is the kind of thing which has angered many activists in Africa, and this is the kind of questions that he's answering right now. And I must tell you, I've covered some Africa-France summits before. They used to be quite stilted. It was the French president meeting a lot of African presidents, a lot of them who were quite old, some of them who'd been in power for 4 decades. And this time here, it's very, very different atmosphere. Before the debate, there was a big Afro-pop concert, and now you have Emmanuel Macron with these 11 young leaders, and it's quite a heated debate. I must say, quite a frank debate.
And part of the idea for Macron is to court all those dual nationals who are French and African, and to show them that he's from the new guard.
Absolutely, and as you said, I mean, some people are noticing that this is happening 6 months before the French presidential election. And a little earlier on in the afternoon, Emmanuel Macron was walking from a round table to round table. At one point, there was a round table about sport, and he was talking about how France is investing massively in sport in Africa. And next to him was the famous basketball player Tony Parker. And after Macron had spoken, a lot of people came around him to take photographs, to take selfies. And I must say, it did feel a bit like a pre-electoral campaign.
And just before I let you go, Nicolas, how do African leaders feel about the French president effectively going over their heads, if you will, to speak to these young entrepreneurs and civil society representatives?
Well, I talked to the advisors of some French presidents over the phone. I mean, officially they said that they had no problem with him meeting civil society. There have been articles saying that some of them were a bit upset, but I mean, it must also be said that, in the month of May, he held another summit on economic issues where he did meet a lot of African heads of state. So even though there is this summit here with the Africa's civil society, Africa's young business leaders, he hasn't completely forgotten the African presidents who he hosted in May.
Hasn't completely